Welcome, everybody, and time for another sports commentary, another discussion. Yes, it is APPITUDE, where we're discussing doing the right thing. I am not legislating morality for the masses. That is up to you. But in the world of sports, there's a certain protocol, right? A certain way we do things. And the way Jim Boeheim and Syracuse have parted ways just does not feel right to me. He coached the Orange for 47 years. Now, when I ran cross country there in the 1980s, I'd see him coming into Manley Fieldhouse. His office was right in the front. We'd come in, we'd run around him during indoor track. His team would practice on the court, and they'd eventually move into the Carrier Dome after it got colder and the football team was finished. But nonetheless, this guy has been doing it for almost half a century, okay? And after more than 1,000 victories, and there's Coach Boeheim, 35 NCAA tournaments, 5 Final Four trips, a national title. He's on the Mount Rushmore of sports coaches. Yet when his team was ousted from the ACC tournament, his post-game presser was cryptic. When asked if he was retiring, he kept saying it's up to the university, that they hadn't offered him anything. And shortly after it was announced Adrian Autry, an assistant on staff and former player, would be taking over. Come on, you can't get this straight? Have a farewell presser, let him have his moment. This is how it shakes out after almost half a century. He is the reason Syracuse matters in college basketball. So with that said, kudos to North Carolina and Duke for how they handled the retirements of Roy and Coach K, right? I feel like there's more to the story here, but for right now, in this moment, this parting of the ways, if you will, does not feel right to me. Syracuse, do the right thing. Speaking of doing the right thing, we have the enigma wrapped in the riddle. That is the current Ja Morant situation. Reportedly brandishing a firearm on social media, a live feed. Then when that news exploded, the league launched an investigation, right? And Colorado law enforcement did the same. The Grizzlies announced he'd be away from the team for at least 2 games. Then Morant later apologized and said he would seek help on how he's dealing with stress and his overall well-being. To be clear, no criminal charges have been filed. But the NBA has rules against having firearms on the team's premises. That means the plane or the locker room. So he could face a lengthy suspension. But I'm going back to my original statement. Do the right thing. You're an NBA star. If you care at all about yourself, your teammates, your loved ones, the people around you, this is not the way. There's a string of off-court incidents, and he's seemingly always involved lately. Ja. Need I remind you and all your fans, there was this guy named Gilbert Arenas not too long ago who got a 50-game suspension out of the NBA for taking a gun in the locker room. If you don't want to derail your career, you got to clean it up. The NFL, the NBA, these are corporations, right? They don't play. If you mess with their brand, you put yourself and your career at risk because nothing is more important than the brand, except maybe doing the right thing. But that's just my opinion. I've been wrong before.